with this news that came out of nowhere. And it literally was one day they have a meet, from what I can gather, they have a meeting and they tell the students and the staff that you have, first I heard it was until August. And then it's the end of June, and now it's tomorrow. You on some try and be morally right or whatever. And I'm not saying that morally right stuff that King was talking about. Right. That's different. I'm not talking about that, because ain't no way you putting women and the kids in front of water hoses and police dogs, and they don't give a damn. Excuse me. I'm a teacher, and if I'm not teaching your children, people have a right to come and say, "Hey, look, man, you're not doing what I need you to do for my child." But you have to be involved too, right? So you can't tell me as a parent that you're involved, that you're not doing my child right. I need y'all to correlate this to what's going on around here as well. You can't tell me I'm not doing your child right if you're not involved in the child's life on all levels. The issue that it is now is blatant in everybody's face. Yeah. It's blatant in everybody's face. So we're not sitting there talking about what can we do for residents. We don't care nothing about the residents.
Never about the residents.
It's never about the residents. And the issue that people are having that I see, and they still won't let me come down to the council. When I'm out of school, I'm just going to go. Be out of school in a couple weeks. I'm just going to come to one. I don't care. I didn't think he was like that.
Yeah, but he folded up.
Yeah, he did, because it was pressure. It was pressure. All right. Sorry, y'all. We was talking. My apologies for being late. I had a little tire issue this morning, and I didn't call Uncle Meek and let him know, and then I was working in my office and didn't have my phone with me, and I lost track of time because I'm getting the war room together. So, there's that. Good morning, family. How y'all doing? We're going to give y'all a hot cup of morning, bro, this morning. And thank you for all the people that was watching. Y'all got to hit that thumbnail, too, because I don't see it on my side more than he see it on his side. So how many viewers you said we had last week?
2.4.
Okay, we had 2.4.
Altogether, 2,500.
2,500 viewers all together. We appreciate it. Keep spreading the word and keep putting it out there. One day this week, because I was supposed to go to Levels with one of my god brothers on Friday, but it was tied up with another event, so I didn't get down there. So, but one day this week, family, if y'all local and you want to go somewhere, because I'll be back, this is our spring break, so I'm free this week. I would love to have the people that are here or local, or if you want to come drive in or whatever, let us get together and see each other face to face and have brunch somewhere. I think that would be wonderful, and I'd like to be able to see my family, and we can break bread and talk and commiserate and kick it and laugh and joke and all that other stuff, and talk about some other things and talk about more stuff. And then, so like I'm free Wednesday. I'm not doing no tutoring, so I don't know who gonna call. Don't call me, because I'm not doing nothing other than working around the house and relaxing and get ready for this last push of the year. So if y'all want to look at Wednesday, if anybody wants to say we'll make it on Wednesday and we find a place to go, whether it be Golden Corral or we can go to Levels because, it's a small black-owned business or something like that. Because I haven't been there. I was supposed to go Friday, like I said, and it was tied up with another situation. Kind of made it kind of private. And so I didn't go down there with my brother. But let's Tuesday or Wednesday. I would love to have you all show up if you can, and even if you in Philly or wherever, just holler in and say hello. But if you're local in the Flint, Genesee County area and you want to meet, I would love to have that happen for us on Wednesday. Let's say Wednesday about noon. And if y'all let us know between now and Tuesday where you want to go, either Levels or because I've not been in there yet, or Golden Corral, which will seat more people. I would love to have that happen so we can see each other face to face and we can start kicking it. Okay, I don't see nobody hitting no lights on my side yet. No thumbs up. Come on now. Anyway, so yeah, we was kind of jabbing about sports, and it's hard to really talk about errors and how players would play across errors. So, we just have our favorite point in time and everything else like that, and just enjoy it. Now, something a little bit more serious. I had a conversation with an older sister that I counsel her and her family about reparations. This issue has come up and it's been up since probably the 60s, if not before that. And we have to look at it in the terms of both what we can consider the pros and the cons. We can clearly see that the system that we have been put under and the pressures that come with it have caused the denigration of our society because we don't have a culture. The culture means that we have morals and mores that we follow and rules that we follow as a group of people. And we follow those rules. I love these commercials that come up. Get paid, baby. I love it. And you have a set of cultural ideologies that you follow. Eating chitlins and greens and poke back and those were survival mechanisms that we use because we so cool. We turn stuff that shouldn't be into stuff that should be, and that happens across the world. But what I was telling the sister was that if you're talking about reparations, we have to do a decolonization of our mind. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Good morning, everybody. Mr. Johnson, Concrete Jungle, Miss Hendricks, Miss Cousins, Sister Akil, Miss Akil. I ain't going nowhere, and we here. What do I mean by that? Number one, where are you talking to repair from, right? Because Ghana made a statement in the UN and then they turned around and made a deal with some European governments for assistance. One of the reasons why the three countries that have bonded together to create what they've created in Burkina Faso and Mali and Niger, they clearly told people in the world they don't want African people from America to come over and help because look at what you've done to your own leaders when you had your own leaders there. You sold them out and killed them. So we can't trust you. That is a problem. And this goes back to how we even got here and how we even got started with Black Watch with the Willie Lynch letter. How you had somebody, there's been no movement. There's been no movement. Gabriel Prosser, Denmark Vesey, Martin Delaney, Nat Turner, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X and the OAAU. There's Dr. King and the SCLC and those people around him. There have been no movement. The Black Panther Party for self-defense. There have been no movement. Deacons for Defense. No movement that not had a sellout in it that didn't come from somebody who said, go down there and make sure you tell what's going on. And so you can come back and report to massa. If the FBI, there should have been no way that the FBI could not have recruited Black folks to go tell on these other organizations so that these organizations could be destroyed within. And they knew what they were doing, and they knew who they were killing, and they were clear about it. Not understanding that these people were brought up or came up in a time and era and developed a voice to speak on behalf of all the people. You would have people that if you do get some reparations, that what people would do is they're going to go tell how you spend it. But what does repair, which is the key word to it, mean? What does repair mean? So let's look at the two groups that did get reparations. The first were the Japanese, or one of the first was the Japanese Americans who were put in internment camps during World War II. Good morning, family. Good morning. Good morning. Miss Allen, Miss Terry, baby, we love you. We're praying for y'all. Mr. Johnson, we appreciate y'all being here. Okay, well, we're going to talk about how decolonization works. So we're going to get to it because I ain't going to bring it up unless I got a solution. So the Japanese were able to during World War II, over 20,000 people were put in internment camps. And of course, the United States proceeded to create the atom bomb and bomb the Japanese. Well, why weren't they going to go bomb people in Europe? Why? Well, number one, you're not gonna bomb your mama. You're not gonna blow up people where you come from. So if you got German Americans here. That's not forget. You got Italian Americans here, and they all are here making money in one way, shape, or form, and part of the war effort. But because you got German ancestry here. Uh-oh. You good? Okay. Because you got German ancestry here, because you got Italian ancestry and all these other immigrants that come from there over here, you're not going to bomb where you come from. Not going to bomb home. But the Japanese, you don't have any attachment to. So what do? It's okay for them to be the target for your bombing. But I'm going to say this again. We were clear in 1938 that the Japanese were planning to bomb someplace, somewhere in the Pacific. Well, okay, I'm gonna answer that too. So just hold that thought, Concrete Jungle. We're gonna come to that. Now, if you're clear and you're selling them plans how to build airplanes, and you're selling them materials. But we have to remember that the other part of what the United States always does is business has its hands on both sides of the war. I'm gonna sell you these materials so that you can build these ships and build these airplanes. I find out that you're going to bomb us. And they even knew that the fleet was out there coming on December the 1st, before the 7th, and there were subs that were out there along the perimeter of the international waters that saw the fleets coming. They radio back, nothing happens. They could have destroyed those aircraft carriers and destroyers right there. But the United States got money involved. Just like I found out that, remember the car, for those of us that's old enough to remember, that was made by Buick called Opel, the Opel. That was a German vehicle. Henry Ford and Generous Motors were involved in helping the German army build its Panzer tanks and its armor-carrying vehicles and the airplanes. Because remember, Germany is landlocked. So being landlocked, they don't have access to no oil. So they developed synthetic oil. This is in the 40s. The same stuff that we could be using now that they're putting on the shelves, but still pumping shit out of the ground that they don't have to. This technology has been around since the 40s. But guess what? You also have NASA that starts in 44. It was called another name at that time before they changed it to NASA. The very same Germans that developed and created the V2 rocket, they smuggled them over here to develop the space program. And those are the very same ones that in the Nuremberg trial should have been executed like the rest of them were. But they weren't, because the United States had another agenda for them. The Japanese get reparations after Nagasaki and Hiroshima because they say, well, you had us locked up and we Japanese Americans. We weren't fighting for imperialism. We're fighting against it. The Native Americans go and say, hey, look, we were 100 million strong, and now at this particular time, we're less than 50,000. And the United States says, well, we can give you something in return. And what can we give you in return? We can give you casinos in return to recoup some of the money, but guess who got to be in charge of the casinos? If you live in Michigan, you go anywhere where we have casinos that are not managed by large places that come from Vegas and they're supposed to be on native land or whatever you call it. They're not managed by native people. They're not managed by native people. We live here in Michigan. Mount Pleasant is an hour away from here. It's got a casino up there, Soaring Eagle. Go inside of it and you'll see statuary of native people, but you look behind the desk, there ain't no native people working back there. Or if they are, they white folks claiming to be natives, which is another designation that happened in the 50s that allowed some people, especially Europeans, to be able to get themselves a designation to be called Native Americans so they could get free money for going to school. Yeah, but okay, in the South, you're saying there's nothing but casinos, but who are those casinos owned by? Are they owned by Native Americans or Native American groups? And typically they're not. Okay. Now, who said, decolonization. Let me talk about that, and then I want to talk about the statement from Concrete Jungle. Decolonization is where you look at so this is according to the calendar of whoever's calendar. This is Palm Sunday. Next Sunday is going to be Easter Sunday. If we just look at the holidays, their holidays that we follow, then one way to decolonize yourself is don't participate in them. Even if you say, well, we're going to have family dinner on Easter Sunday, are you going to cook something that you already have? Are you going to go to the store and buy something? See, I'm talking about not participating in it at all. And there's a difference between participating in their holidays, which is nothing more than a money grab. Has nothing to do with the actual expression or the belief of whatever it is that you believe in, because it's all pagan stuff anyway, and not participating in it at all. So when Easter comes, we're going to turn around here and not even pay attention to the fact that every time we turn around, it's going to be at a different date other than the spring equinox. It's always going to be at a different date, and it's based upon a lunar calendar. Got nothing to do with the birth or death and resurrection of the Christ. Got nothing to do with none of that, because I don't remember anybody that died and rose again, but your death and a rising date changes every time you turn around, and nobody's asking any questions about it. Decolonization is also where you don't participate in certain things in a certain manner. Now, am I saying that America's Great. No, it's not. It's fucked up. We know what it is. Excuse me. Sorry, that was a little extra sugar for y'all coffee this morning. Is Africa? Yes, it is because of colonization. So we're not romanticizing that shit either. Let's be clear. Not only colonization, but also what Islam has done to it as well. Because you got from the equator up is all Islamic, right? It includes some financial institutions and some practice. Let me tell you what. If you want to make some changes, you and some people that you can develop trust with, start what's called a susu. And a susu is an African concept. It's an African ideology that says 10 or 15 or 20 of us, we trust each other, and we're going to start to pool our money together, and we're going to put in $50 or $100 a month. And then if you need to get an item, you come to the family and you say, look, I need to go buy a stove. My furnace went out. I need some money to get, and all I got is this much, or I need it, and can I borrow it, but I got to pay it back. That's an African concept. It's called a susu. That's no different than when you have Hispanic families that come here and you go in the house and they got a 2 or 3 bedroom house and 10 or 12 people living there because they're saving money. And because their culture is more important and their identity and culture is more important, they don't have an issue with having 10 or 15 or 20 people living in a house in order for everybody to get up. Okay? In order for everybody to get up. Because if we all get up, we all get up. There's a point in time, if you went to Detroit and you go down there by the Detroit River and you go, what's the name of the oh my God, how do I forget it? Not Shane Park, that they changed to Aretha Franklin. But what's the name of the park? Hart Plaza. The company that started cleaning up after all of the festivals was a small little group of Hispanic cats that had these raggedy ass trucks and trash cans. And you know what they did? They just started to pick up the trash and whatever. And after they did such a good job, 2 or 3 festivals, they went back with a contract. We'll clean up after the festivals, no problem. You couldn't get black people to do that. I get it. But still, at the same time, you left money on the table. These persons then turn 2 or 3 raggedy ass trucks until now they got the contract to clean up after every festival down in Detroit. Everyone. And they ain't like we having festival every week. They ain't got no festivals every week down there. They pick up the trash, they do this, they clean up the grounds, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Go back if the grass get beat up later on, before the fall, they replant the grass, all of that. But we want to sit around here and don't do shit and expect a handout. Reparations is not a handout. Reparations is also repairing the damage that's been done to us through education, through the system, or even our mindset. Because like I said, today, next week, you gotta have a bunch of motherfuckers sitting in church talking about, you waiting on something to happen. All you gotta do is look out the window. That's where it comes from. That's a whole nother topic. Not gonna get there. Oh, we're gonna talk about next week though. So another part of decolonization is yes, I'm also Africans in the diaspora messed up, whether we in Brazil, whether we in the Caribbean, whether we in South America, North America, and in Africa, and other parts of the world, wherever we are, all because hey, I like this ad. This is talking about some tools. Yeah, I got to go over there anyway this morning. That's what's up, Mom. What is this? Now you talking about eating. Man, these ads, they be coming through. I love them. But anyway, if we're talking about the repair, that also means, how we think about how we live in our spiritual life. How we think about how we live with the food that we eat. How we think about how we live with we speak English. If we're speaking English, is that our original language? No, it's not. We know that it's not. But are we also trying to go back and find out where we come from? That's what Sankofa stands for. Go back and fetch it. I'm trying to learn a little bit of Wolof and a little bit of Yoruba because I have family there. And I found that out. Right. And man, Mr. Hutchinson, you're absolutely right. That's, once again, I just made that statement. Here you got people that come in and they'll say, hey, look, we got 15, 20 deep in our family, and they'll just keep pooling the money till we buy a truck, a van, and we start a business. I'm telling you exactly what happened in Detroit. Yep. See, there you go, Miss Cousins. Look at that. And Miss Cousins say her mother, if I lent you some money, you got to pay it back. And that's a banking system. And that can be done within your own family. And you're right, Mr. Hutchinson. That's how we build communities, because we didn't have access to banks. And it's not difficult. There are 19 families about 970 acres of land in Georgia that they have called Freetown, right? Now, there's white folks that's doing it too, but they doing it because they trying to be in Armageddon. But they have their own bank, they have their own grocery store, they have their own welfare, health system. They have all of that, so that they're taking care of themselves. And they also have patrols, so nobody can come in and nobody's doing dumb stuff. That's already agreed. Nobody's doing dumb stuff here to attack each other. And no, they're not going to let somebody come in and attack them from the outside. This is not difficult. What we have been, the unfortunate conditioning has been that I can't trust you. And that is part of decolonization. What do we have to do in order to build trust with each other? If we can't do that, then we're going to die. We're going to die. And we don't start trusting each other implicitly. Look, if you mess me over, then I'm going to deal with you, because you shouldn't have. If I open my home to somebody and they screw me over, I'm done with them. Now, my level of being done may be, how much did I lose, or how much? Now, if it's real bad, then your ass gonna have to die. I'm just going to jail.
What did I come into?
Oh, we talking about trust.
I got you.
Okay, because it shouldn't be that I open my home to you and you need, and then once you get on your feet, then I have nothing left because you took everything from me and you thought it was okay. So then I'm gonna take something from you. Now you can choose, it might be a hand or it might be your life, depending upon what you took. Because it's not, we're talking about creating bonds, and we're talking about building each other up and being accountable. So if the intention was to come in and steal, I'm an Old Testament man, even though I don't believe in it like that. Hey, an eye for an eye. You do this to me, I got you. Because I'm going to do something back to you, because I'm going to find you. I got a young man right now that owes me work for some money I gave him. I trusted him to do the work. He didn't do it. Oh, I'm going to find him, and you're going to march your ass over to my house, and you're going to put this work in. And then don't come back around. I owe you nothing. Oh, and I already saw you once, so I know you're going to slip up, and I'm going to see you again. Yes, trust is building culture, because here's what we don't understand. Those people that have the same, even though they do messy shit inside, they're not going to break the fact that we're from the same ethnic group. They're not going to break that. I'm a drummer, and I know a lot of brothers and sisters that are from West Africa that drum and dance. And some of them are way messier than we are because this is how they learned it. But they're not going to hear. They may talk to a couple people, I might get it or whatever, and that don't mean I'm going to dog this other person out because you wasn't shit to this person because you're trying to get something to that from that person that they got. But it ain't going to go no further than what's inside their culture.
No, that's how it's supposed to. But that's most cultures are like that.
Most cultures are like that other than us.
Right.
We want to go running and tell everybody that this person did this or no, it's okay. And I'm gonna say this. I may be what I'm guilty of is asking, hey Mick, did I fuck up? Let me tell you this, and I want you to tell me where I messed up or not. I'm guilty of that. Because I want to make sure that if I've done everything right by a person and they screw me over, then when my vengeance come, my vengeance is righteous.
For sure. I was just looking at what Jeff Johnson said. You're right on that. He said big facts in the ATL area, the Mexican, Spanish, Latino community shop in their community.
Yeah, they don't go nowhere else.
Japanese, Chinese shop in their community. The Jamaican shop in their community, period.
Yeah. So what see, we can't develop. So I passed and I got to go over there. The soul food, soul shop or whatever on Fenton Road. I got to go over there. I want to check, and it's somebody I know that's cooking. So, hey, I gotta check them out. I want to go to Levels. I ain't been down there yet. Because part of it, a lot of times I don't go out. Now, if I do go out around here, I might go to King Cigar and have a cigar and maybe a sip and see some people I ain't seen, and then I slide up out of there. I don't stay long, but I go and at least patronize it. Some people stay in there that's their life, like they clubbing. That ain't how I operate. But that doesn't mean I don't want to support them, which is the reason why I said what I said. If we do this lunch on Wednesday, and y'all better put in whether you want to show up or not if you local, I would want it to do it at Levels, at least to give the person, the brother, sister, whoever they are, some support. And I think that's right.
No, I do that too, brother Elliott, because I try to go to Black business at least once or twice. Now, if you establish it's nice, you're gonna see me plenty of times.
Yeah.
But I like to go do that. I like to just check out the environment just to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind spending with us anyway.
Right. Yeah, and we're supposed to. So every other group does that. Brother Johnson just said that. Latinos go to Mexican town in Detroit. They're not talking about going over to African town, and ain't no African town. You don't see Chinese people going to black stores. They're not going to do it. They'll go to white stores, but they're not going to black stores. We're the only ones that will go somewhere else. Part of it is because we don't have it. But the other part, when we do have it, go support it.
But can I answer this question? Don't come on here and get in trouble.
Come on, get in trouble, bro. Shit, that's what our job is.
What's up, the lovely Carolyn Hendricks? Thanks to everybody tapping in, even the lovely Deborah Luna. I'm gonna say this: what do we own? It was a time when we did have our own stores. I don't think we own nothing. And I'm not gonna knock the grow up grocery store because I know people want to keep hollering about that. But is it really black owned if somebody else put $10 million in it?
No.
Okay.
Your leadership is, but should we support it anyway?
I'm gonna say this, and because things then came out to make more sense now. Why would you even put that over there if you know it's not gonna survive? Because then we have a Hamity over there.
Yeah, we had a Hamity, we had a Meyer, but those were white-owned companies.
No, not the one. The Hamity was black-owned, wasn't it?
No,
but they tried to open it up.
No, remember? The second time it was management, but it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the point I was going to make.
Yeah, the point because I was going to say I want to say the individual they have a meeting. Good morning, Felicia. They said they had a meeting.
That's the Marine.
Yeah, they said they had a meeting. This is not what I'm saying. This is allegedly what was said. Said with no grocery store making over in that area.
Well, see, that's bullshit. But you got black people that go to the Kroger in Mount Morris, right, or go to the Kroger in Flushing.
But you know why?
Because there ain't no other place to go.
Nah, it ain't just that because there wasn't no other place to go. is because they've been there. We kind of used to what we used to here.
Okay.
And
So,
what I mean, you
go
still,
ahead. Come on.
what I mean, you still got people to go out to Great Giants. You'll never catch me going out to Great Giants.
Man, I used to go to Great Giant when I worked over at Summit because it was across the street and I could walk.
But see, now I went that when we was kids. I remember from when my granny was there. But not would I go there now? No. I'm just being honest. You got people already set into where they going to. And I don't think we have, you got to think at the time when grocery stores was popping, we had down there population over 200,000 people.
Yeah. But now, like the one last that and it's not black owned anymore, was Hinky Dinky right there on Detroit or King and McClellan. And now Chaldeans or whatever he is owning. It was black at one time. And what we'll do is we'll get older and our children will turn like, I want to buy a cabin, like for real. Yeah. But my kids ain't gonna do shit with it. My nephew would. His kids ain't gonna, because we don't want to do that. Well, that's the stupidest thing to do. Now all of the places that we had in Idlewild is up for grabs now that it's becoming popular to be black again and go back up there. And guess who else is grabbing them? White folks is too. But we done gave all of that stuff away.
Yeah, because we thought just think about it. We thought their ice was colder than ours.
But see, that's decolonization. Right. That's being colonized. Yeah. To say their ice is colder, but motherfucker, you created ice.
But you got to also look at it. Look how long we fought to get, because this thing with the civil rights was about. It was about integration, in my humble opinion.
That's the most insane thing.
Because you wanted to be able to go to their stores, their stuff, right? You wanted to be able to go to their school
and sit at the dinner table with them,
right?
And all the other stuff that we had, and I have a dream, and listen to that dreaming bullshit.
And so you got to think they fought for hundreds of years till they even got this to that 64 Voting Rights Act, right?
Yep.
So you know that was some hundreds of years with blacks that suffered till they got to that point,
right?
Right. So what you think is going to take to redo that? If it took all these years to get it. Because I like what that one book said, the miseducation of the Negro, or the re-education of the Negro.
Right, that's the second book that
you gotta really re-educate all the blacks. I'm talking about the blacks that came up through slavery. I'm not talking about the ones that just got here. I'm saying us that's here. However they want to say it, the ones from slavery. We got to be re-educated to do for self, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got to want to go back to we owning our own stuff. That's the problem. But we've been so brainwashed that we're gonna see a Myers, we're gonna see a Sam's, we're gonna see a Walmart. We automatically gonna go to them.
Only because number one, their eggs are whiter, and number two, they may charge a nickel or dime less. For eggs and meat. I'm gonna say this again. Sister Leela Harvey McGee and her husband had this store on Lippincott right there by the hairdresser. When there was a liquor store, everybody was in that store in that neighborhood, right over there by Stewart School. When they weren't selling liquor in there any longer, people stopped going to the store. When they were you go into the store and you listen to the speeches, and that's I'm gonna say it again. That's when I first found out about thick cut turkey bacon, because I stopped eating pork bacon a long time ago. Go in there and guess what? They got it. Oh, what's this? It's bacon. Oh, I'm gonna buy it. No problem. Every chance I got, I'd go in there and buy something from them just to support. Didn't last long because cats didn't want to. They wanted to go, well, your eggs is 20 cents more than over at Meijer, but you could walk. You're in a neighborhood where you can walk to the store. You can get take the cart, bring it back. You can go get all the groceries you want to in this little place, and good quality meat. It didn't smell like a meat market. It was clean. But because they wasn't selling liquor, and you could hear conversations, and you can hear speeches and music and this and that and other that wasn't denigrating. And I'm gonna say this too. Even Honorable Marcus Garvey said that if you ain't here, you ain't gonna be there. He didn't say it that way. Those are my words. And there's some people that we can't worry about.
Well, then how you feel about, because okay, you said about because they didn't patronize because they didn't have liquor in there, right?
Right.
So how you feel about the grocery store selling liquor in there?
Man, but it's the grocery store selling liquor because that's how they know that they're making money and placating African people. That's what they started to sell. Okay.
No, because
that's what they started selling liquor for, enforcing black. And I know you know, enforcing black people on the African people on the plantations during periods of war.
Right.
But when we were under warfare, you drink it and that keep you supplicated.
Yeah.
And we still doing the same thing. Yeah. We ain't changed.
Man, I just had something I want to pull up for you. It was I might have left it. It was on what's the name though. It was
but look, see, there you go. Miss Cousins, she said when Mayor Neely and Liddell had the summer job program, they set up the for an amount of money to go to account for each child, and Elga Credit Union was there and signed them kids up for their accounts. Right. That's what are we talking about?
Right.
What is this? Let's add another ad. We don't want this up here. No, we're not shopping. We're not doing none of that. Get out of here. But it's through another account, another group of people, because we don't own the credit union. We would much rather work for somebody else than to start ours. And if you have a church to start one, it's attached to the church. It is not attached to the community. $420 billion was deposited by black churches alone in the last year. $420 billion. That type of money, who cares about celebrities? That type of money would change and transform our communities. But guess what? We got political season coming up.
Oh, and I got a video for you too.
We got political season coming up. And so guess what? Folks gonna be out there politicking and politricking.
Sure it is.
Well, didn't you say False Avenue? She funny. She funny.
I got one for you.
Go ahead on, baby.
This was it. Go ahead, do your thing. I'm just putting it up. I'm just
getting it
together.
Coming up.
Hold on, because I'm just saying this because you said it was election season, right?
Yeah.
She said y'all want to know how Democrats really feel about the black people. Nick Cannon was telling the truth. Democrats want to give reparations. That's what I'm saying. This reparation, this whole issue is crazy, man. This whole issue. Did you see what Nick Cannon was talking about?
No.
You didn't get to see it? I mean, whenever you ready.
Go run it.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let me run this, family. Let me get the bases up. Let me run this.
This Representative Jayabal, Democrat, is saying that if they win the mid-election, they need to give reparations to the children and families traumatized by ICE.
Need to be held account for the trauma created, and we are going to have some form of reparation for.
Jayabal, Democrat, is saying that if they win the mid-election, they need to give reparations to the children and families traumatized by ICE.
Need to be held account for the trauma that they have created, and we are going to have some form of reparation for the kids and the families that have been traumatized through all of this.
Not the Black Americans that have been traumatized for over the last 450, 500 years in this country, or the ones that have been holding down the Democratic Party. No. When I tell you as Black Americans, you better stop taking your eyes off the prize, because you continue to make Democrats and everyone else out here think that we good. Black Americans is good, y'all. We need to focus on a whole new group of people here that have not even bought into this, paid into the system like we have. This is so disrespectful. Number one, who's going to pay for them reparations? Because it damn sure wouldn't be Black Americans paying reparations, the people who came here hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years after us and ain't been a slave nowhere up in here. Nowhere. Where the
a little bit. That's all I want you to how you feel about that.
So here's once again, we're listening. We good?
Yeah, we good.
Well, once again, we're listening to a group of people who are ignoring what I'm gonna use your phrase, the elephant in the room. I'll be damned about what we do for black people, but because people have been offended, the government have been offending black people since 1536.
Right.
We ain't talking about 1619 when white folks started to write their part. The Spanish started in St. Augustine in Florida is Spanish, named after an African man. That was one of the ports. There's another port by the French in Louisiana. So we still sitting around here and they bring this idea up, talking about reparations for what happened. And I'm not, and it's horrible that it happened. No different than it's horrible that it happened to Jewish people. But I'll be damned, we talking about 100 million African people that got dragged all over the globe, all because we didn't believe the way that they believed, done by Pope Nicholas V and a papal bull that he wrote in 1441.
Because the reason I played that, like I said, I was looking at it and I asked some others. It's not that I'm just dogging Democrats. I don't think we get
pause. Europeans are here illegally too, Miss Taya. They came over here based upon some shit that they created, that was created by their government. The potato famine that happened in Ireland was done by the government to get rid of people.
No, don't forget.
Reduce the population.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Piggyback on that. Remember, Britain opened their jail cells up. They let their criminals out
to come over here to start a colony.
Yeah, that's you got to understand. They let their they was calling themselves finna make Britain pure. They was letting if you just go back and go study the history. This ain't nothing what Mickey said. This was really a death sentence because they didn't know where they was going.
And it's not just Democrats and Republicans. Right. They're the same, baby. My thing is that we should be done with the whole system because the shit don't work for us. Voting doesn't mean a damn thing if you can't force people to do that's no different. And I understand the voter apathy here.
Right.
I get it. You got 300 people that turn out for an election and then one person get 300 votes and you ain't got but 300 people that voted the whole damn time. But you know why? Because they own bullshit and there's no accountability.
Yeah.
So my thing is this: instead of me, hey bro, you should run. No, fuck that. I'm not running. We're gonna make people knowledgeable so we can hold these clowns accountable. Because I can't wait for Rivet to show up. She show up. They might as well. I ain't going to jail. I'm too skinny and too pretty, as my daddy would say, to go to jail. But
I got another video for you. I got another
come on.
One. Now this one, I'm gonna just read it for the family. It said Europe said chattel slavery was not the gravest crime because of a racial social hierarchy.
Yep.
Constructed that ranks white people into a vertical order of superiority and black people to inferiority based on race. Race at the bottom. I'm just like I was on X this morning. So,
yeah. So we have to understand that construct doesn't happen until 1721 by an Italian sociologist who come up with that idea.
Right.
Because if you look at the pyramid text have it completely flipped over. Because black folks are the oldest folks on the planet. Yeah, that's my girl. She better be glad she married because God help me.
See, where they mess us up at, for sure. Where they mess us up at. No, I ain't telling people not to go vote because I'm going to go vote. But I'm just showing you, I'm just telling you I'm just putting out here what I've been running across. So when we do, because like I say, we got people that's finna be running. They finna be talking good. But I'm just looking at the system. What's going on.
Right.
See, and I'm gonna play this video for y'all if y'all kind of understand what we're talking about. It's the system. This ain't nothing changed. It should tell you what you need to know.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Baby, let me explain something to you. When you have a group of people that tell their family to come over here because it's better over here than over there, they don't consider themselves to be illegal immigrants. Most of the United States, from the Mississippi over to Oregon, was owned by Hispanic people. Through the Louisiana Purchase and $10 million and between the Mexican-American and Spanish-American War, that they get pushed back to the border where they are now. So when we talk about illegal immigrants, those people formerly own this place. And we're also talking about illegal immigrants. Then you got Native Americans on plantations that are dying and having underage births, and they dying by alcoholism and suicide because they get told that we're going to transform you because you're savages. It's written in the Constitution, removal of the indigenous savages and those we consider to be 3/5 humans. It's written. I don't get the typed up one. Go find the one that's handwritten, that's written in hand. That's one of the original documents. And it says it in here. How in the world do the savage people that committed savage acts against other people call other people savages? How in the world, if you listen to some of the accounts of what they did, there was one person that was so cruel in the Caribbean, they considered him to be the master slave breaker, where he would do stuff like cut people's backs, put salt in the backs, let them bake in the sun, and let the flies and the bees and every other insect get on that girl and eat off that person's back. Raping women incessantly till they die. Having people defecate in other person's mouth, then close their mouth to make them swallow it. This is the stuff that we're talking about. This stuff I'm talking about. So this is a system that we live in that's run by a group of people that this is where they come from. This is what they do. And not only did they do that to us, they did, who knows, all of the torture shit that they created that and used it not only in their own people, but they used it to make sure the people accepted their way of belief. The rack, hanging, guillotine, flogging people. The last public execution took place in 1946 here in this country. And we're not talking about those people are legally supposed to be here. They weren't. They were only through war and money that they get pushed off their original lands. No different than Native Americans, the indigenous people that were here. And even if you're talking about black folks that consider yourself to be indigenous, you got fucked over too. So stop that bullshit. Go read. Go study. They ain't no more illegal because they wasn't illegal when they was picking out the tomatoes and the green and the peppers and the cherries and the fruit. There wasn't no issue then. There was none of that issue then.
I keep telling you what the issue is, and don't nobody want to listen to me. It ain't Mickey made it up. Let me just tell y'all, it ain't Mickey made it up. Go watch what Pat Buchanan said. Go get his book.
Yep.
Called Depth of the West.
Depth of the West. And I got that book on the way.
Pat Buchanan. Oh, so
Yep.
you matter of fact, if you want to watch some of it, go pull Pat Buchanan Talks up when he on C-SPAN.
Yep.
It's on YouTube.
Yep.
And you going to see what he talking about, conservatives to where they at now, to what he was talking about. And he said, we don't need to be doing these foreign wars. They so far off, even with, with everything, how this system is where it's at today to where they wanted to start it at. They done went so far off the course. It's just diabolical. And then so when you trying to have these conversations, and I get what you saying, Miss Tia, but if you can see Miss Judy as Willie P. Lynch, you better see it's more than just Judy ain't the only one think like that.
Right.
So you got to look at that Congress. See, that's what you really got to look at. And I'll give you understanding. Like, this is why I wanted to put this up here. I want to give y'all understanding on what we really, you can kind of get a grasp on what we, what's going on. I get what the brother's saying. No, I'm just saying, but I get it, you do read. But you're right. You read.
Compounded. It is still here. When Britain abolished slavery in 1833, the government paid £20 million in compensation, equivalent to about £2 billion today. That money went to the enslavers, not to the enslaved. British taxpayers were paying off that debt until 2015. Lloyd's of London, which insured slave ships throughout the trade, they formally acknowledged the history and apologized for it. But the wealth didn't disappear. It compounded. The cotton that enslaved people picked in Mississippi in 1850, it built the textile industry that funded the Industrial Revolution. None of that wealth was ever returned. And when it was over, the men who built all of that wrote the history books. They named the streets after themselves, built monuments to the men that tried to keep it going, taught children that it was a tragedy of its time, something complicated, something to understand in context, you know? This week, 123 countries stood up at the United Nations and said, no, we see it, we name it. The gravest crime in the history of humanity. And I keep thinking about the people that never got to hear that. The people who died carrying the truth of this in their bodies, with the world's silence pressing down on top of it. Our ancestors knew exactly what it was. They lived it and the world looked away. That's not a small thing to finally name. Now let's talk about who refused to name it. 3 countries out of 193. The United States, Israel, and Argentina. 3 countries looked at a non-binding statement. Not a reparations check, not a court summons, not a single dollar changing hands, not one person facing any kind of consequences, just a formal moral acknowledgement that this happened and that it was the worst, and voted no. They voted no. And the argument this country made is one of the most clarifying things they've said in years. The U.S. Deputy Ambassador stood up in that hall and said, "The United States does not recognize a legal right to reparations for historical wrongs that were not illegal under international law at the time they occurred. They built the legal system that made all of that legal. They wrote those laws. They enforced them. They sent men with guns to drag the people back that survived long enough to escape. They fought a war. Hundreds of thousands of people died, specifically to keep those laws in place. And now they're sitting behind those same laws as their defense, as proof that they don't owe anything. The country that engineered the legal architecture of chattel slavery is using that same architecture like a shield. That's a confession if I've ever heard one." And then there's Europe. Europe didn't vote no, they abstained. And I want you to hear what Europe said in order to explain that. The European Union said that they couldn't support the resolution because the word gravest implies a hierarchy amongst atrocity crimes, and no legal hierarchy between crimes exists. The country that designed ships specifically engineered to maximize the number of human bodies that you could pack into a hull, that built the plantation economies that made European aristocratic families wealthy for 10 generations and counting, that colonized an entire continent and drew its borders at a conference in Berlin in 1884, where not a single African person was present, that extracted the gold, the diamonds, the rubber, the copper, the people for 100 years, and are still sitting with that wealth in 2026, had concerns about an adjective, not the 2 million people thrown into the ocean, not the women raped on those ships, not the children sold at auction, the word used to describe all of it. The Netherlands is the only country in the world that's ever formally apologized for its role in the slave trade. 1 out of every nation that participated. 1 apology in the entire history of the Western world. But look at who said yes, right? 132 countries, the entire African continent, the Caribbean, Latin America, most of Asia, the global South. The people who know from their blood and their bones what it means to be on the receiving end of that power. They didn't hesitate. They didn't debate language. They didn't have concerns about adjectives. They called it what it is without flinching, without qualifying, without apologizing for the clarity of it all. And for the first time in the history of international law, it's on the record. What happened to African people wasn't complicated. It wasn't a product of its time. It wasn't something we need to understand in context. It was the worst thing human beings have ever done to each other. 123 names on it. So let me be clear about what this week was and what it wasn't. It wasn't justice. It wasn't reparations. It wasn't accountability. No one's going to prison. No check is being written. No land is being returned. No wealth redistributed. It was 123 countries agreeing on a word, a non-binding word, and even
No, we back, brother. I just wanted to put that up.
Yeah, no, and this is exactly what we're talking about. Okay. If we're starting locally, I'm gonna say this again. All right, when I'm gonna say it, if we're starting locally, one of the ways that we right here in this group right here that we build is on Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday, let us know where you want to have brunch at. And let's meet for brunch. That's how we build. And that's how we kick ideas around. And that's how we go from there. Or we just go have lunch and ticket. Hey, how you doing? I ain't never met you before, and whatever. Yeah, that means I'm willing to make time to go wherever y'all want to go. And I gave 2 choices, but one I really want us to go to because it's Black owned. And then we ain't got to be there all day. We can be there an hour, hour and a half, get on down, going about our way.
For sure.
Let's do it Tuesday afternoon. You ain't got nothing to do at 12. Let's meet over at Levels at 12 o'clock. It's Black owned. The other little place that I would love to go and sit and eat, but I don't think it's big enough for us to eat. It's Soul Good. Okay, but we could order food and go somewhere else. But that's too much. I don't know if Levels have food in it. If anybody knows, let us know. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not saying that you're not a reader, because we know you're a reader and we know you're a student and we know you study. But we also have to be very clear about how the system operates.
Facts.
And I think that that's part of what our problem is that we're not looking at a system that its main war machine is propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Chris said they got food, so there we go. Okay. So Wednesday, 12 o'clock. I'm going to make sure I don't have nothing to do. I'm going to be there. Wednesday, 12 noon. We're going to be over at Levels, have a little bit to eat, maybe something to drink or whatever they got. And we go in and we kick it for a little bit and then we go. And then you all are invited. I'm not paying for it. Bring your own money. Okay. And then we'll meet again when the weather breaks, babe. That's fine. Not a problem. But call in anyway and say hello. What I'm saying is this. America has a problem that is way deeper than immigration. As long as the immigrants were picking the cotton and picking the corn and going to get the tomatoes and all the other stuff, there was not an issue. Okay? But what we're not looking at is historically how these people were here already and how they got removed off the land. That's all I'm saying. $10 million in a war, the Louisiana Purchase. That's all I'm saying. The Spanish-American War, the Mexican-American War, the Alamo, and all of them, Davy Crockett, and all of that other propaganda. It's all that. There you go, my baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. It got to be about us. Everything else is bullshit as a distraction. And I'm with you. Now we straight. Because I understand that. Whatever. I don't care nothing about that. I'm concerned about how well my students are doing in school.
Yeah, because what you don't want to get, and I see what people was trying to tell her in the chat, though. I mean, I'm going to say more concrete, Mark. They wasn't nobody disagreeing with you, but basically what they saying is we can't get caught up and have other people what we mad at. The only reason they mad at, let's be honest, with the immigration law that they want to come in, they not mad at bringing Afrikaners in. Mm-hmm. They not mad at bringing the ones from Europe. Right. They mad about bringing the ones that's got coloring. I keep telling people, go study what they saying. People can brush it off. They worried about the browning of America.
Right.
That's what the whole problem is.
Right.
That's the whole problem in a nutshell. They worried about, what's up, Tony Terry? They worrying about the browning of America. They looking at if they become the minority, they feel like what happened, what they did to people, it'll happen back to them. This is what the whole issue is about. Why you think they wanted to move from where we was from?
Right.
Just think about it. We all been in America. It was all right when we was kept in the ghettos and over here. They didn't have to live by. But as soon as you look at the 1960 vote, the voting housing act, wasn't it? Why would the white people want to? Why was? Can you answer this question for me, Brother Elliott?
Go ahead, big bro.
Why did we have white flight?
Because they don't want to be bothered with black folks. because the propaganda says you don't want to be bothered with black people, so you move out. And they wanted to create their own communities, which is the reason why we have gated communities. And if we look at this area, you got Grand Blanc and Flushing and Swartz Creek, and we got our people moving out there thinking things are better, when instead of staying here rebuilding what see, we're not like when we hear celebrities or whatever talking about they buying a block and transform their block. They're not leaving it the same. What that means is they're also saying, hey, look, you got to change with it or you got to go.
Yeah.
You're not going to sit here and just have stuff in this and do that and not do this or whatever. This is saying also that you gotta change your mindset too. They're also telling people that if I can do it, you can do it as well.
Yeah, but that's a game though that they playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, Denise, but we didn't create the game.
No, we just been forced to play it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, and this brought it up. I seen that the young people, when they tried to go to the Capitol Theater,
right,
and they shut it down. Why you say you don't go there?
Who, me?
Yeah, why you say you didn't go?
Oh, I don't go there because of what they did to my father after World War II. That's a whole different principle.
And what year was that?
That was 1945 when he came home.
In 2026, they end up shutting it down. I get it. We can say, the Capitol, they said the young people, it was down there. They didn't build that for us. I don't think we really understand. Like, a lot of this stuff that they building is really not for the undesirables as they look at you. Just being honest with you, family. They want the ones who they feel is, and don't get me wrong, it shouldn't be every time, should be killing every time blacks throw a party.
No, but here's the other part about that. Mm-hmm. At what point in time do we start telling and showing our young people, right, how they should conduct themselves so we don't have what happened during 810 Day?
Facts.
Because they just had 313 Day down in Detroit. You ain't hear about none of that shit.
It's just here.
It was just here. Now, when the Capitol said young people can't come down here, why?
An image, from what I'm thinking, the propaganda.
There's not only the propaganda and the image, but also if you just did this as young people during 810 Day, we're not gonna let you come in our establishment and do this shit. Because my thing is this: if you and I beefing, how should it lead to something that mean one of us go to jail or one of us? We can't sit down and argue and talk about our differences and our discretions and go ahead on and go from there and either come to agree or disagree or not. And if we can't get off, and there's people that I say stuff on there you're not going to agree with. But if you get mad, then what the fuck, you immature?
But at this time, from what I was reading, they weren't doing no wrong. They just didn't want them there.
Okay, but here's the thing. Your image from before shows that shit. Now, my dad, it was you just come back from war. You and your buddies is on wearing y'all uniforms. They let you in. They shouldn't have let you in the first place. They let you in and come in later on and told you got to go. So then they tore the place up. We just come back from war. You're going to tell us you don't allow ends in this establishment, but you let us in and took our money. So they wrecked the place and left. Now, for me, I'm not going down there because I'm standing on principle for my father.
Yeah, no, that was the point I was bringing up, because look how they did then. You thought they wouldn't?
Yeah, they've been doing that.
Then.
This ain't nothing new. So then, whenever they have a show, then why do we go down there?
Just look at the show. I'm looking with Chris. He said, I saw the Fat Boys at the Capitol. Blacks had to go to Saginaw Civic Center for decades. Facts.
There you go.
Facts. But that's why. But all you gotta do is just go look at the show that they be having at the Capitol. Are they the shows that we will go to?
Well, they just had Ali Sadiq there, and they had somebody else there, and a couple of other people there. But yeah, most of the time, no.
Who's the shows catered to?
Yeah, of course. It's no different than going to the Whiting than the so-called cultural center. Ain't nothing cultural there that they have for us. Like for me, I like drum and dance. So therefore, they had one years ago. They ain't had none since.
But that's on us, though. I blame more of us because we should have been put something together.
Well, we do have something put together. McCree Theater. Let's go over there.
Why won't they?
Well, because black folks don't want to go over there because it doesn't seem. But you can make it cultural. You can make it a cultural place. That's easily done.
how do you break the chains from around the people head here?
Because people got to want to study and understand that we caught in this propaganda. We caught in the Willie Lynch syndrome. All of us.
Yeah.
We all caught in it. And that's the reason why you have to study it to understand, hey, look. And now, my personal position is I don't want to vote. Why? Because voting hasn't done anything, because we haven't forced the people that we voted for to do what they're supposed to do for us. Because they figure that they don't have to have a dialogue. They don't have to talk to us. That they're above us. But so then that has to be fixed as well.
No, we have to. Now, I agree with you with that. Like I said, I've been watching it. I see a lot of the stuff that be going on. I'll be like that. Because like I'm looking at election season right now. I look at these people like they finna fool the people running again. They finna fool them. They finna get these people out telling them we finna do this. I'm talking about from the governor to your state senators.
Right. All
down to your local.
Yeah, all of them.
State reps. Yeah.
They're liars. They're politicians. Their job is to continue to tell people lies. And our job is to do what? Okay, well, if you're going to lie, then guess what? We'll take care of our own community. So if enough of, and I live in 7th Ward, if enough of us say, look, we'll take care of it, we'll clean up with it. Right. We don't need that person. You're not going to take credit for something if we decide that we're going to get together and upkeep our own community, and whether we cut down a tree or whether we fix the sidewalk or get the sidewalk come out and fix or whatever we need to do. We don't need you. So don't come down here and say that you had anything to do with it, because I ain't even seen you but twice. Once at election and one time in the store, and you acted like you were scared. I ain't got shit to say to you.
Oh, you ain't see none of the people that's running for the 7th Ward this year?
No, not yet. And I ain't heard from none of them. And they should be on the show. And it's not about us trying to get you in no trap. It's about promoting what it is that you say that you're about.
They ain't coming, bro.
Of course they not coming.
They said they respectively declined, had about 5 people. But the ones who've been declining look like me and you.
Of course they do. Because then that means that you're lying about your agenda.
Yeah.
That you in there, you trying to get a piece of something that you should, nobody's knocking the fact that you take the cream off the top of the butter. Nobody's knocking that. But if you're not doing anything for the community in totality, that's the problem.
Yeah. And I know they probably getting mad that I'm bringing, but I ain't say y'all name. I'm just saying.
Well, but they should want to. But if we find out where they are, we'll ask you where you at.
I mean, we're going to bend them saying because they're going to be having these, they're going to have to, if they be forced to do debates. But, some of these people I'm pretty sure the Evergreen going to probably throw that.
We do that there. Again. If we show up, I'm going to protest. I'm gonna walk around with them end of the world cards, one on the front, one on the back.
Like, cause I do, but really, what it showed me, brother Elliott, how really messed up our community is in the Black community.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem, and this is something that systemically is an issue. So how do we fix it? We start talking about decolonization. Number one. You got to wear different. And I don't care nothing about what kind of clothes you wear. I would like to prefer to wear African clothes. I like the way they look. That's for me.
Right.
But it's also attached to a particular ethnic group. It's also attached to a particular language. I eat African food. I eat Jamaican food too. And I cook African food. And I listen to African music. But that's me. But that's part of removing ourselves away from this other system that's done. What has it done for us?
Chris, for sure. Chris said, I thought y'all support the gay. What I said was, and I'll tell you what I said, Chris. I said anybody, than Candace, but I got to see what people are talking about. Like, I'm just not going to get behind people. I told y'all this last time. When I did it, just getting behind people, I'm not doing that no more. You know what I'm saying? We got an open space that we tried to give. A lot of the Blacks didn't want to come on because they did the respectfully decline. And I'm like, cool, we keep it moving. But don't get mad at us if you see, the other candidates on here. You know what I'm saying?
And we just want to give people an open forum to state their position and just make sure that they're being held accountable. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. It's about how are you going to be accountable to us when the last, whoever the other candidates are, have not been.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's
like,
all we talking about.
yeah.
And if you're afraid of that, then you really don't need to be running for an office.
Yeah, you know, right. And see, a lot of them don't have thick skin, and that's what I seen the found out. But it's like, but I was giving a brief on it. See, a lot of people still mad about, because this city got two cliques, rather people, and political. Let me say political. It got two. That's political cliques. And what it is, if you're not with either side, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, and I say this, to me, it shows me that if somebody got to tell you what to do, you can't think for yourself.
Right.
And I'm not mad at you. Like I tell people, I'm not mad at them. The most I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna mention you on the program, because I'm gonna honor you respectfully.
Right.
Not mentioning you. So sometimes I read some of the stuff y'all put in here, but if y'all don't see, like, we don't mention them, I gotta be respectful and don't mention them.
Yeah,
and I hate, and I don't want to be nasty or nothing, but it just is what it is. I'm not gonna bring y'all names up, so I don't want y'all to be mad. Ain't no big thing. And me, I'm the type of person, once you decline, the door is closed.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion, it's closed. Because we ain't gonna do, you gotta change your heart later on. Keep that same attitude. Just in my humble opinion. But I won't get on here and dish you or do none of that. I'm just not gonna I'd rather you just go on and stay over there, just to be honest with you.
And because I don't understand, if you have an opportunity to voice your view and voice your position, why wouldn't you take it?
But because that shows you how really narrow-minded people is. They really be thinking they hurting you. I would be trying to get all the free publicity. They be thinking they hurting you, but that really just showed the type of person. And I hope the voters see that.
And that's the reason why I feel that the other idea that I'm working on and trying to sketch out is more important than running for a position.
No, it is, man. When I see how these people, and I didn't understand it now about the politics, when they see a lot of these people are really puppets, and they have a puppet master. They want you to believe they really for you. I'm saying even down to your activists, man. I was looking at something, I would have played the other video, but I might save it for conspiracy. When they was breaking it down, said when you don't see none of these people, let's talk about elections, said all of a sudden these people come every 4 years, they come into your city. And that's why I put that up there with who put this up here? Time, when he said, y'all remember good times? Y'all remember the alderman that was on the show that only came to the ghetto to get their votes?
Yep.
That is the Democrats and the Republicans.
And so then if that's the case, if both of them are coming to the community in order to get what they want from the community, then why are we even dealing with them?
And that's why you see the people that's really running, man. Like I said, did you see anybody when the elders was getting snatched out the cars?
No. Where was y'all? As y'all so-called community activists, where was you at?
No,
we talked about it.
Yeah.
And we went down there and fussed about it.
Yeah.
And
but these people who gonna want to run, they gonna want to come out, tell them elders, I want y'all to vote for me. I'm watching everybody how they putting all this stuff on. You see, everybody got a live now. They want to document everything they doing. I'm gonna document me showing you I'm going to put my signatures. I'm gonna document me doing this. Then what you think about the No King protest? They had one here. They had a couple around.
Yeah. Oh, this is all supposed to be about Trump making himself the king of the world.
Right.
Well, then that goes back to when our congressperson was here and you said that y'all had 209 people in a position to make a move for whatever you was going to do. And that's on them.
Right.
Now, what we going to do? Here's the deal. There's stuff that we can do. But if you complain and whine and all this other stuff about the invasion that happened in Lansing, about the invasion that happened at the Capitol on January 6th, when he turned them people, all of them loose. So what the hell are we marching for?
Right.
When do we mark No King's Day? Well, okay. Then you should have said that back in 1504,
Right.
before the American Revolution, before Jamestown the first in 1510, 1511, before the Wampanoag decided that they were going to help them and then get exterminated by the same group of people that they helped. By 1523, 24, there were no more Wampanoag.
No king, right? They saying no king protest, right?
Yeah.
But this is what they voted for.
I mean,
Gas
all
up.
of y'all.
Yeah,
all
gas,
of y'all. All not that. But if you was black and you voted for him, and if you was white and you voted for him, this is what you got.
And that's why, and that's what I was trying to say. Like, even, and I'm not knocking no blacks who voted for him. You did what you did. We've been fooled. This ain't the first time.
And it ain't gonna be the last.
Yeah. Just like people voted for, like I was having a conversation. People voted for, for Biden, right? Mm-hmm. But they forgot about the 94 crime bill.
Right. That he supported with Clinton.
Yeah, they forgot what Hillary called the black kids.
Right. That they supported with Clinton.
Yeah, but see, they forget that.
But see, that's where probable cause comes from.
Yeah,
probable cause comes. We think you might be doing something, so therefore we have the power to stop you.
Yeah.
That comes from that 94 crime bill.
Yeah. People don't even understand why you getting mad at immigration. Oh, and I'm just saying, I'm talking to the black. Would they hire? Who you think hiring them? Who you think who been their 400-year problem? But see, we can't see it. I'm not, listen, I was just watching the thing when they talk about in Mexico. I was going to put the video about the black girl saying how she didn't get her job, how they hiring most Latinos. And I get what she said.
To.
And she was like, they hiring them. And she was like, but they not speaking English.
Okay.
And she was like, but my thing is, what you thought was going to happen when.
See, this is what I don't understand, how we go to certain places, live certain things, and expect certain stuff. And then don't expect there to be fairness. It's not going to be fairness. And it's no different than me talking about I want to go over to China One and be a cook. You think they're going to hire me? Number one, you don't speak Mandarin or whatever it was that they speak. And number two, I don't cook the way they cook. So why would they hire me? And I wouldn't expect them to.
And that's what I was like. That's when I was looking at it, I was like, but we the only ones want to go to everybody's neighborhoods. We the only ones. I mean, we accept everybody in our neighborhoods. It don't look strange that in a predominantly black city, you don't have no black-owned stores.
Yeah, it's like absolutely strange.
Yeah, that don't seem strange.
And it's also, we'll go to everybody else's store but our own. Yeah. Once again, I mentioned Soul Good. I mentioned Levels. I didn't say let's go to Golden Corral.
Right.
I don't. They're gonna have enough people go out there. But for us, I want us to go somewhere where there are people that look like us.
And there's nothing wrong for that, but we get told that it's wrong for us to do that. Right.
Why? Why do we get told that it's wrong but you don't say this wrong for Chinese people to go? Listen, at the end of the day, if there's any food left at the Chinese food restaurant, guess what? They either eat it or take it home. They don't go to waste. I've seen it happen.
No, only us. That's why I'll be looking at some of the stuff we do. I'm telling you.
But yeah, we refuse to. Yeah. And I get it. Yeah. We go to a black establishment and it's getting overworked or whatever, and the waitress or the waiter's not smiling, and we get our ass on our shoulders and this and that and other, and instead of saying, hey man, take your time and be patient. You good? I ain't in no rush.
Yeah.
Well, man, fuck this establishment. I ain't going to this motherfucker. Why? Because we still got that Willie Lynch syndrome. And I don't give a damn. We all have it.
Sure do.
We all have it.
Sure
the issue is, if you want to decolonize yourself from it, is recognize that number one, that you have it. Because we do the same thing. So we still talk about dark skin, light skin, this, that, the other. We still have it. Instead of saying, they're my people, period. And then when we say that, then we have some clown that's going to take advantage of it. Because your heart is open and you big-hearted and I'm one of them. I'll acknowledge it. I'm one of them. And I had to get to the point where I'll tell a person, if you cross me, there's going to be dire consequences for you when I find you, because I will find you. So that don't mean I want, hey, I like the hoodie. Yeah, you're here, but I got to be cold, no problem. You better enjoy it, but I better not see you with 12 hoodies because you done hustle people out of hoodies or you done took hoodies from wherever,
Right.
and then you got 12 hoodies and I gave you mine because you liked it, because that's how people do. That's a kind of, we do the same type of thing. African people do the same thing. But at the same time, you got 12 hoodies and I'm cold, and you just say, no, man, I just like the hoodie. I don't want it, but you took it.
Nah.
And you got 12 hoodies on and driving and whatever, but I'm sitting here freezing because I gave you my hoodie because my heart is that way. And you think it was okay to take advantage of it. No, give me my shit back. But you gave it to me. You didn't give her whatever. No, motherfucker, you got 12 hoodies in the back seat. Put one of them motherfuckers on. As a matter of fact, give me two of the ones that you got. Because I like them too.
But see, we ain't like my uncle always say, we so jammed up. Like, just think of, look how they had so much time to work on us that we don't even trust each other. That's just the simple fact.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
Because we don't trust each other. We'll sit there and we want to argue. And I'm fine. But I don't care nothing about people want to argue stuff different than I do because you have a different view.
Facts.
But back your view up with facts.
Facts.
Don't back your view up with an opinion and you don't have the fact. Back it up with facts. The sun rose this morning.
Yeah, it's a fact.
That's a fact. The sun's going to set tonight about 6 o'clock, even though we still going to have sunlight till almost 8. That's a fact.
Yeah.
The temperature's supposed to be up above 60 tomorrow. That's a fact, according to what the weather.
It could be tricky.
Be careful about that because they good at lying. They're right. They good at lying. These are facts. Stop having opinions. Right. Not based on fact, and then you want to argue them, and then you want to be mad because I'm not agreeing. I'm not going to agree with your shit. Show me.
Yeah.
Show me.
Right. I just think we got to get on, man. Because if you go look at the black leadership here, you can see a wonderful thing, and you can see where it went bad at, and most of it was through jealousy.
It's jealousy and envy. That's the whole. Okay, there's a African saying about jealousy and envy, and it goes because people were jealous of the fact that you taller than me, and this one's darker than me, and she got curly hair, and she got straight hair, and this and that and other, and it's kind of a proverb. But jealousy and envy go hand in hand.
Facts.
They're considered to be brother and sister. I'm not, like I think I told y'all a way while back. I had one of the brothers I know, he been talking like one of my brothers I ski with. He been saying since 6th, 7th grade that he wanted to get him a Rolls Royce. Right. Guess what he got? He got him a Rolls Royce. He been saying he found it, he bought it. I tease him and his wife, or say his mistress is in the garage, and we start laughing about it. Because he'd go in the garage and wipe her down and this and that and other, all this other stuff. Cool. But this is what he said he'd been wanting since 6th, 7th grade. So why would man, what do you think of who you, and when he put it in the car show last year, you got people that were mad that he had it. Yeah, not that he saved his money and worked hard to get it. And how did you get, they were mad that this black man had a Rolls Royce. Who in the hell do you think you are having something like that? And there's what other people, black people came up, white folks came up, and the white folks was real mad that he had it. Come on, bro. We still dealing with that shit. Jealousy and envy.
Yeah, you don't think that's going to... Look, you heard what I've been saying this. Mark Wahlberg can come here and have on $1 million worth of jewelry. Guess who ain't going to rob him?
We ain't going to touch him.
But guess what happened?
If you wear it or I wear it,
I'm fooled.
Ooh, bro, you fooled. You fooled for the shark.
Oh, they coming in your house.
Man, what? Oh, what you think you got it like that?
Oh, yeah.
Listen. I don't like the fact that I have to be concerned about people that look like me that I love dearly, because we've been programmed to hate each other and internalize that hate towards each other. That's the reason why we can't get on and have a common discussion. And people want to say, and I'm not, everybody that's on here is a student, and I love it. We got different views. That's fine. And I'm not saying my view is always right. My view is learn it. I may need to study a little bit more about something, but I'm not listening to somebody's opinion. That's yours. And you may have it, but please base your opinion in fact. That's all I'm saying. You have a different viewpoint. Yeah, we're all going to have different viewpoints based upon our life experiences.
Right.
But one common denominator that we do have is that if you black, your ass gonna get racized. That's a new word. I just made it up.
Race? No, you're telling the truth.
I just made it up.
No, but you're telling the truth.
Because they're gonna put you in this category.
At the end of the day.
And as a science teacher, if we go back to our early science lesson, right? Our early science lesson, what do? We learn classification. I don't know, Miss Cousin. I gotta find out. They have what's the well, this is an insect, and this is a reptile, and this is a mammal, and this is a flower, and this is a plant, and that's what they do with black people too.
Yeah.
Why do you think it was so easier? Native Americans and Europeans that were under the indentured servant program, they go, well, we just leave this town and walk over here to this town. Native Americans said, well, we can sneak out and go back into the woods. Black folks, because there was black, could be identified because of our color and our features so well defined and so individualized, unless it came to what they consider to be criminal activity. You can always find a black. That's the reason why they became easy to use.
Yeah.
Because where you going to run away to? Where you going to run away to? And then the Native American people enslaved African people too.
Yeah, but I think too, even with that, because remember some of the blacks did escape to some of them tribes.
Yeah,
but the thing was, you know how they was able to mix with them and couldn't get them,
right?
Because some of them tribes was black that they don't want to talk about. I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying, what they ain't been doing, but see, this is where the racism, like I said, we not saying it wasn't slave, you know, Africans wasn't enslaved by the different religious aspects of it, from from Islam to Christianity. Right. But you got to look. But when it came into America, it was never practiced the way it was practiced here.
Right.
On how they did it.
Right. No, not at all.
You know what I'm saying? Some of them tribes, you go back and look, they married them who they conquered until they tried to bring them to their level of understanding what they thought civilization was. Right. What you got here was they would kill you for even learning how to read.
How to read.
Just think about that. You could die for learning how to read.
That's crazy.
But you don't want to educate your own subjects.
Man.
And
no, because what if you get a group of people that are educated, then they understand how to play in the system. The issue is with what we're doing now is that folks are playing in a system, but they're not playing a game for the gain of black people.
Right. I'm gonna watch it today, Deborah. As soon as we get off, I'm gonna watch it. She said that I watch Art Live from the other day. I'm gonna check it out today. I'm gonna sit back. So I got some of it, but then I had some personal things coming up with my family and stuff. So I had some personal things. So I ain't really been able to be free like that.
Okay.
I've been but I'm gonna check it out on my way going, because I gotta go check on some family members. So I'm gonna leave and put it on while I'm out there chilling. Okay. So I'll listen to it. But no, I still think with us and he talking about maybe what we talking about, how the black sold out here. I know that's what some of the basis of what I was talking about the black leadership here, because I heard from what they were saying. I guess they coming after his the cancer cluster study. Yeah. But my thing was, it's business. That's $1 billion business. That's big pharma.
Right. Yeah.
So if you didn't think, I'm not saying I know he knew for all the fighting you did, but that's just how we do. That's why I say you got to worry about this Boule clan here. And I remember somebody put this in here. You fighting like, and I you know what? I was having this conversation with my one of my family members yesterday. I said, people don't think this is a plantation that we own.
The whole country is.
Yeah, they don't think it is. They don't think. They thought because, you know, you can't come out and legally kill a nigga, hang him. You know, you got to hide it. You know what I'm saying? Organs come missing. You can still do it. And we got to look at these jail. You know what I'm saying? Like the police. Like I was looking at the other day, man. I'm going to be honest with y'all last night. Me and my cousin, I had rolled by levels while I was coming in. I was looking how the state boys was rolling through downtown.
See?
And that be my thing, like they police presence. Don't you know you can go sit out any bar, any club down
they don't
there,
go over there by
somebody
machine
off.
shop. Then you go down there by machine shop when they have something happening.
You know who
over
they
there.
want.
Right.
They know who they pulling over.
What?
They know who they think it's only. Listen, man, I don't care what nobody say. Y'all can keep sitting up here just because Obama became the president. Stuff like we out of it. No, we are not. You can go look. We can go pull up basketball games. You can go pull up different videos where they being racist. But we getting caught up in this thing with immigration. We got our own issues coming on.
And I agree completely with Tia. What she said at the end is it's got to be about us first.
Yeah.
It's got to be about us first. And I'm not discounting anybody in the group. But what I'm saying is this. Okay, so you got this. If we all going to survive, I don't have an issue with whatever. But I'm not going to. If I'm feeding my dogs, I'm feeding all three. I'm not going to feed one over the other two.
Feeding them all.
Everybody got to eat. They all got to eat. I'm responsible for them. They're responsible for me. So, no. Why is it that we have to run and jump to? They want us to run and jump to every issue, but they're never going to run and jump to any of ours.
That's all you got to do is look. They got the Asian hate crime bill.
They got the Asian hate crime bill that they put out a couple years ago. They got a gay hate crime bill that they put out after that kid in Wyoming got killed by white boys. But they won't put a black hate crime bill.
The George Floyd bill.
But they ain't gonna ratify it.
And now we know why they didn't even want to study HR 48 from the late Congressman John Conyers. When he said, let's just study with reparations. Did you see how America backed away just now?
And they just did it just now at the UN.
And you, like, people don't understand, like you said, your father went and fought in war. Yeah. When he came back here, how did they do it?
They treated him horribly.
Yeah,
and then, hey man, why don't you come to the Capitol? Nope. I'm not coming. Yeah. That's 60-some years or 80-some years ago. I don't care.
Yeah. But they act like we supposed to forget that they did that. That's over.
No. And that's the reason why it's never over, because they're not gonna let it be over either.
Hell no, they ain't gonna let it
be over because they make too much money off of it. Number one. And number two, if they let it be over, then what you did in the past shows that you're wrong and you're not willing to atone for it. Don't come and tell me I got to atone for a goddamn thing. I don't. I don't have to atone for a damn thing. I have nothing to atone for. Because I've been a black man in this country for 63 years, and I'm standing the way that I'm standing because I'm not going to change and twist and turn because somebody talk about liking it. Or not like, I don't give a damn. This is how I'm made by God, how I'm made. So what am I going to change it for?
For sure. Any last words, brother? 11 o'clock.
Figure out where we going to go. No, we already said where we going to go on Wednesday.
Right.
How many people going to show up? And the last thing, we didn't have Conspiracy Tuesday.
We don't have, because you off this week, right?
I'm off this week.
So what time? We can do it early because I know it's still because they be having the ENA board.
We can do it at 4.
4. We'll do it at 4, and we can come right in and we can
we'll
get
go
right
to the ENA board and be on some bullshit over
there. Yeah. All right, family.
All right, family.
I'll see y'all
I love
later.
y'all. Thank you very much. We're gonna see you Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah.
All right. Peace.
Yeah. You.